welcome back to the Tiger Sports Show. This is actually take two. Tren got badly injured, and we had to stop and come back and start over here, and he had time to find his pom-poms. Welcome to the Tiger Sports Show, where we run through the week in Tigerland, all that's going on. We got big doings this week, co-host Tren Mays, because we got a Tiger football win.
Yes.
21-14 overtime win over Lexington. What do you have to say about that ball game while I see if I remember how to take a helmet off?
Well, Coach Olson always had a line. That Monday morning 8 o'clock bell is always better when you're coming off a Friday night victory. And we definitely had one of those. Coach Linden was fired up. We were back in his old stomping grounds.
He's a Minuteman alum.
Yeah, and he is a 1996 Minuteman alum, and we don't like to talk about that game very much in Tiger football history. But actually, we did reverse that because the Tigers lost at the end in 1996. Like Coach Linden said, we reversed that. The Tigers got an overtime victory. It was 0-0 forever, and then the Minutemen struck first. The Tigers had a lot of chances, just couldn't get anything strung together. They had some nice passes to Dayton Espino. We get down 14-0 with 10 minutes left, and you're sort of thinking, okay, we'll try to see if we can string some offense together. Tucker Sinek, they rode the hot hand in the fourth quarter, and Tucker actually bobbled the snap. It wasn't a designed run. I confirmed that last night at the softball game. It was like a little midget football play, and he runs in from like 35 yards. For their first score.
Yeah, it looked to me like it was a pass play to the right, and instead he ends up bobbling the ball and running to the left. And it was a great drive. Maybe, I don't know if it was 10 plays, but they converted a couple third downs, couple big passes to Dayton Espino, and but they had about 5 mishandled snaps, a couple low snaps, and a couple Tucker just didn't catch. And so great composure by the kids. That got them the first touchdown, so it's 14-7. How'd they get the second one?
The second one, it's Sinek hit Cooper Cole on pretty much a streak. They looked like they were running a little screen. Cooper was supposed to block for Krings, who was set up outside of him. They were in a 2-by set on both sides. And then Cooper goes down to block and then ran right by the kid, and that kid didn't have a shot. Cooper can fly. Sinek lays it out, throws a dime, lays it out right in front of Sinek or Cooper Cole at the goal line, and that's touchdown Tigers. We tied it. We played really well on defense that next drive.
Yeah, he got flushed. He got flushed on that touchdown. Laux had called a timeout. I don't know how big that nose guard they were playing was, but he was a big dude. And he came through there after little Tucker and flushed him to the left. That was a great pass, great play.
Yeah, the Tigers got a lot of pressure on the next drive. Yeah. Caleb Clark came in, got a big sack. Cooper Cole showed up on defense, playing a little linebacker. Actually jumps over the quarterback after he threw it, after Cooper knocked the pass down, and ended up on top of their quarterback. And flip over, and then our favorite player, Joe Rodrigues. And then the Tigers went and they had chances to score at the end. The biggest play that happened right before our touchdown was another bad snap by Laux, and the kid probably makes the catch of the day, as the TV guy said, because he had to one-hand that snap and then get it off a little bit. The Tigers had 4 guys chasing him down. They get to OT. What happens next, Coach?
Well, the Tigers just dominated that overtime. Two play drive for the touchdown. I think it's Naz Robinson who gets the score after a nice little rollout pass to the right and to set it up. And then, boy, Laux went nowhere. Laux went nowhere with their drive. They started on the 10 and they ended on the 10.
Yeah, and high school overtime is my favorite overtime. It's a 10-yard fight. You don't get the ball to 25, and you're not going to have a possession and stuff. And then each team has to have the ball. And then if you kick a field goal, you still get a play. It's a 10-yard fight. And the Tiger D steps they did what they did the whole game. They put pressure on them. Due to some TV issues, we had to see the replay of the final play when Krings knocks it down at the goal line. But the Tigers had a ton of pressure on those 4 Lexington plays. Coach Itz was bringing pressure, which is what the mode we've been in lately. So
yeah, I thought Blaine Hammock had a big pressure where they had some people open and he flushed the quarterback. And then Krings made a great play there. He kind of got turned around a little bit on that play. As I'm watching, I'm like, uh-oh, he's in trouble. But made a great athletic play to come back and knock that ball down.
I talked to Coach Jackson at the college cafeteria yesterday. He said that bus trip home was a lot of fun. That's a pretty decent drive coming home from Laux late at night, and it's good when you're coming home with a victory. The mood on the bus is a lot looser, and there's just a lot more fun on the way home. And then they get ready for big post homecoming game, but just a big game with GR Northwest, our friends from up 281.
Yeah, the Vikings coming to town. They're also 1-4, but they've played a whale of a schedule. They've been getting some ratings love even at 1-4. And Northwest coming home, the Tigers trying to develop a win streak. What do you think the keys are this week?
I think they just got to keep pressure, getting pressure on the quarterback. They're going to have to take some chances. And then because Northwest is going to have a mobile quarterback. They have a really good defensive end who is going to North Dakota, I think. The really good North Dakota College University in the Fargo Dome or something. But he's a good player. We just have to be able to block him, and we need to keep the rhythm on offense. They're getting some things with Naz. The running between Naz and Cooper is giving him a nice balance. Espino's getting open on the edge, matching up Cooper Cole against some linebackers. He has a speed advantage there. I have a question for you before we move on. Okay, Josh Cole versus Cooper Cole in their high school days. Which one's faster?
I don't know. Josh Cole could run, Trenner. Josh could run.
Well, Josh Cole was a big dude.
He could run.
He was a bull in a china shop. I'm taking Cooper in that race.
You are?
Yeah, I talked to I have inside information.
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
We're talking, it's lunchroom inside information.
Well, Josh could run. So could Uncle Darius.
Well, I take Darius over both of them. But,
all right.
But Daddy Cole was a bull in a china shop at about 250 or.
Well, he was big. He could pick him up and put him down. All right. I'll let you deal with Josh. Let's talk underclassmen a little bit. The freshmen went to Crete and struggled again. Tren, what are you hearing about the freshman struggles?
They're just in a situation where they're running into teams that just don't have freshman-only teams anymore. Yeah. A lot of Class B teams are moving to what they call reserve, where they're going to play freshmen, sophomores, and juniors. I talked to Coach O. We're very competitive when we play freshman-only teams, such as North Platte. It was 14-0. But when we play these reserve teams where they play juniors and sophomores, then it turns into 52-0. So they're losing their wounds a little bit. They're without one of their better players who has a medical issue, and they need some numbers. He was enthused. He was encouraged by the 40 kids out at 8th grade. So our goal is to try to get all them to come out, and they're undefeated. And
speaking of, I got some results from the middle school. The 7th graders went over to Aurora, won 26-6. They're 4-0. The 8th graders are still 3-0, and they play tomorrow. So exciting times. And all right, let's go to the sport that is ready for the postseason. Tiger softball. Tigers finished up the regular season last night with a couple wins over Kearney. They basically knocked Kearney upside the head a couple times and finished the regular season. Tren, what are you thinking about the Tigers as they head to a sub-district that they're not going to get a host for the first time in quite a few years?
Yeah, it's going to be a different taste for the ladies to go on a bus. Usually we just drive to Smith We show up, we play, we come home. They're going to have to. Then I think they're ready for that. I think I described it last night as they just got some rhythm last night offensively. Like you said, we just took a couple shots, and I think Kearney got a little woozy, especially in game one. They came out and scored 3 runs the first inning. Carly Mulbach had a double and a 3-run homer, and they put the ball in play. They put pressure. Game 2, they win 14-3. They had back-to-back bunts with they had Laux, old Hayden, little Frosh Hayden Laux batting leadoff. I'm curious to see what Coach Speak does with the top of the batting order. They call her Hey to go with KK, and she put pressure on, got a wild throw by the third baseman, and we got girls running. We have a ton of speed. We're stealing bases like crazy. And then Macy Wolver with the bunt right behind her. Coach Blake dialed up that at third. They're doing a lot of small ball. We still get the home runs. Sammy was banging them off or hitting them off the fence last night. They just got into a rhythm, and Kearney took some shots, and they brought a lot of pitchers in. It was a long night, but they came away with 2 good point wins. We're going to get that bonus point for the Class A, and that's going to help with the ultimate goal with the district final next Friday.
Yeah, Carly Mulbach had a home run and a couple doubles last night. You hope the offense is getting rolling, because the issue's been a little bit this year. When we see pitchers like Kearney, we got a lot of runs, but when we see the good pitchers, we're not producing the 6-7 runs like last year. You knew we always could do. And over at against Northwest and against Central Catholic over at that district, they're going to have to do that, and against whoever they run into in district final. Probably going to be on the road for the district final too, don't you think, Trenner?
Yeah, and they played GICC on Monday. That's who we're assuming they're going to play next Monday over at Aurora. And it took a little while. Mackenzie Nolette with a grand slam that sort of fueled that. It was a really tight game going into that. We should expect tight games, probably assuming Northwest is the host up at Veterans Park up in GI. Yeah. And then we're paired with Columbus Lakeview, which I think is a good matchup for us. And then there's
I don't think we've ever played them in softball.
No, so I'm curious. That's a game I'm interested to go to. There's a chance for a Seward pairing, and we also saw them. One team I think we want to avoid is Bennington, but it might be good to get. Bennington beat us here with the 2 walk-off homers. That was a really tight game also.
All right. Well, softball, it's money time. The Tigers usually play pretty well in money time. So we'll see next week. Good luck to the girls. The JV ended the season with kind of a sour note last night. They got beat by Kearney, only their 3rd loss of the season. I think they're about 18-3 overall. One of the best JVs we've ever had. So that's exciting for the girls. I know those girls putting in a lot of time too. I'm going to make a quick run through of what we got going on, because not everybody's at postseason. Volleyball still got about a third of their year to go. They're headed to Raymond Central. Invite Trend. Do you know where they built that Raymond Central school? What building they moved into when they started that?
No.
It's an old Atlas missile site.
Oh,
Atlas missile, nuclear missiles. So the girls visiting the nuclear missile site at Raymond Central. They've updated it quite a bit since then. And then they got Beatrice and GI Northwest still. They got Norris still. They got Minden before they get into sub-districts. Boys tennis did a nice job at the Tiger Invite the other day, finished 3rd, Trend, but they only finished behind Kearney.
Oh.
Kearney A and Kearney B finished 1st and 2nd in our Tiger Invite. But we finished ahead of North Platte, Adams Central, Grand Island, Columbus, quite a few schools. I think there were 10 schools. So finishing 3rd or 2nd, if you want to say. I think Coach Coos has got he's got a tournament team put together. You know, we're not looking so great in the duels, but I think he's got a tournament team that can score some points. They've got Kearney tomorrow. They've got their other invite, the Hastings Invite, which is the old conference. McCook, Gehring, Scottsbluff, North Platte coming in. The old conference on Saturday. And then they've got York next week. And then the Kearney Catholic Invite. And then it'll be state time for them. Remember, we're going to have number 3 doubles in state, so I'm not sure what coach is thinking about for that. Golf is going all the way to Scotts Bluff for an invite and then coming back to Grand Island for districts. They have districts next week, Trent. So we'll know pretty soon whether we get Anna Brandt down to state and if we can get anybody else down there. Then it's cross country. Cross country goes to York tomorrow. Then they're headed to Kansas, Trent. You're going to go down to Phillipsburg, Kansas to watch that one? I'm probably that. Yeah.
Yeah. But they did
Overton.
Yeah, they did really well on Monday at the big Kearney invite on the state championship course over at the Country Club in Kearney.
Oh, the boys third?
Yeah, they were third
overall.
They had 3 in the top 20, I think.
Yeah, Austin Ferrero was second.
Yeah.
He's a threat for a medal at state cross country. And I'll tell you the truth, we got guys who sometimes beat him. So those guys are threats for medals. I really think that boys team, now both the boys and girls have tough districts, but I think they both have a chance to qualify teams for state if they run well that day over in Overton.
Yep.
All right. Esports is off this week, and then they see Westside again next week. They're kind of in a pool with Northeast and Westside.
Yeah, I just found out some more interesting information about esports. I'll have a comprehensive report next week.
Oh, all right.
I found out when they're practicing, and it's in the old J room, so that's like our home away from home. So I just ran. What?
Go ahead.
It's in the JAG room, so which is our old journalism room, and always be the J room to us. But I found out when they practice, and found out an associate coach that's in the building. So I'm very interested in the esports. So
next week you're gonna bring a report on that, huh?
Yeah, I'll definitely do that.
Okay. Well, I need to do a report on the band. I know they were in Columbus last Saturday competing. I haven't heard how they did, and I'm sure they're headed somewhere.
Actually, I think they got a superior rating. I'm trying to remember back from ComArts. And we had a top placing flight corps.
Whoa, all right.
Yeah, so they did really well. I was a little disappointed that Melody Roundup did not happen. I was downtown Hastings on Saturday. They canceled the parade due to the ongoing issues on 2nd Street. So
really?
Yeah, it was sad.
There was no Hastings College homecoming parade?
No, and it was the 150th anniversary. And my favorite story, when I go down, I think Animal House. I think that college movie when the frat attacks the parade. So I always have those thoughts when I go down. And usually I'm just walking with the Tiger Marching Band, and I walk all the way around with them. And then when they're done, I go home. So
is it possible that whole construction detour thing was just a ruse and that there was a fraternity threatening violence on the parade?
I don't know.
Can we pretend that that's a possibility?
Yeah. So when I would go down before, that's what I'd be waiting to see where the delts were in the parade line. But
you look a little like the 10,000 marbles guy. Trainer.
Oh, I do look. Yeah, I could go ask for 10,000 marbles. Right. But anyway, I listen to them every morning. They're doing a great job. They must have had a late practice Monday night because they started really late yesterday.
They always have Monday nights. And I know, but 2 trucks, Trent.
I know they do. I saw that. But what I'm saying is Tuesday morning they were late because the lights weren't on and I was already there. Then they were come rolling when I'm rolling my Suburban in. And we almost took out a few of the band people when I was driving in. But
all right.
Be more careful.
Another great week of Hastings High activities. The kids finally got their real IDs. So, first big accomplishment of the Linden era. He got them IDs, Trent.
Still waiting for mine.
I'm still waiting for mine, too.
All right. At least the kids have them. That's important.
All right. Here we head to the Tiger history segment, Trent. And I hear you're just letting me run this. Numbers 26 through 30, I'm just taking over.
Yeah, I've been just a tad busy. So
all right.
we've had a good numbers. Yeah, we've had a good week in speech class. So shout out to my little guy actually he's not little, he's as tall as I am, but he had to step up and go this morning with very little practice. He was the first one up. We channeled our inner wrestler, and he did awesome.
He gave a good speech, huh?
Yes.
All right. All right. Well, here we go to the Tiger history segment. Folks know we're going through all the numbers. We started at 0. We're at 26. We're trying to rack our brains for the greatest Tigers to have ever worn these numbers. And these numbers start to get tough because these numbers aren't legal in all sports. And so 26, I had to go the creative route, Trenner. Somebody I think you had already included in your list. Let's see if the producer's ready to go with number 26. I'm not sure the producer's still there.
He might be sleeping.
Did we lose you, Tater? Oh, here we go. Okay.
Oh.
Here's my nominee. I got a nominee. I didn't pick her, but I ran across this picture. I forgot Zoe wore 26 in soccer. I can only remember the stocking hat. If we honor best Tiger to ever wear a stocking hat every game, Zoe's
even when it was really nice and 85 degrees or 70 degrees. Still, but she was part of that great Tiger State victory.
Yep.
That we were all down there for when they won the first round at State and then an upset Scud, I think. And
they beat Platteview. They beat
Platteview. Okay, they lost.
It was Bailey Petz's group who upset Scud.
Oh.
But this group, I think, overall goes down as the best girls team in school history. Of the two semifinalists, they had a better regular season record and they had some bigger wins. So I always go with the 2012 team, Zoe's team. And of course, they had some good girls with her as the best girls soccer team in Hastings history. But my real number 26 is Coach Nolan Laux, wrestling at 126.
I can see that 126. I give you that.
He's got his second state championship there. He's got his Saturday championship singlet on. I always liked it when the Tigers put on their whites.
And he's got his blonde hair.
Yes, indeed.
They always have something up for state wrestling, but you can't go against anybody with the last name Laux.
Yep, Coach Laux was out in the outfield with me watching the girls softball game yesterday, watching Hayden. All right, so there's my number 26. Now, at 27 and 28, Tren, I got a couple football kickers.
Oh, I know one.
I think the best kickers in Hastings High history.
I know 27 now.
All right, let's put him up there.
Oh,
Mike Johnson.
Wait, I don't know 27.
Oh, you don't?
That wasn't the guy I thought of. I thought of a guy earlier.
Mike Johnson, class of 96. Good kicker, was a good kicker for us in 8th grade. We attempted, I believe, some extra points with him, which we almost never did. I heard this year they made one, Tren. The 8th graders have a kicker who made an extra point.
I have a class with, I have an inside information. I can try to get us that name.
All right.
Future shows, if I ever get to that class.
So I got Mike Johnson as the greatest 27 ever. And for 28, I got another kicker.
Oh, yeah.
Jones.
I know Tanner very well. I coached him in Little League Baseball.
Yep. 2011. Yeah, he was a good football player all around, but a pretty good leg. Pretty good leg there.
Definitely.
And
Dad came and helped my kickers at my youth practices. Tanner showed up a couple times. Tanner, I've known that family for a long, long time. Good family, good kid. Tried to do it in college, and he took kicking serious, and that was, I would put him up there with the two that I have in mind.
Yep. Well, yeah. Who are they? Who are the two kickers? When I told you,
mine is Deeker.
Yeah,
Aaron Deeker.
Aaron Deeker wore number 31 for the Tigers.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think who the kicker was on the second year.
Deeker was the one who specialized on hitting people in the nameplate with the kickoff, right?
Yeah, oh, definitely. And then
he was aggressive.
Then my favorite kicker is the last name Menke.
Yeah,
with the kick heard around the world just 2 years ago, with the field goal where we got it down to the goal line, and we tried to run a couple plays to run the clock out against our old friends from GI Northwest. He had to come in. There's so many Menkes that I can't. His name slips me. Maybe Tate will tell us, because this is the Menke Tate had.
Yeah.
So I'm not.
He hit that. Yeah, it was Breyer. Briar Minke, he put it right through the uprights. That was a big win.
It reminded me of an early 80s football movie where she said, if you make this kick and such and such, but it was the Tiger kick heard around the world. It pushed him into the state semis.
Yeah.
The Tiger victory cannon went off at the end, which was great at GR Northwest, even though they weren't supposed to do that. And then he onside. Then we squib kicked it, and which was probably even better than the field goal. And the Tigers got the ball back, and Northwest never saw the ball.
Yep, just ended that game. Well, we're talking about kickers, so this show's all about kickers. So my number 29 is about a kicker too. Bruno Rodrigues, 29 goals, 2015, all-time leading goal scorer in Hastings High history. I didn't know Bruno at all. Now you can see he's wearing 18 there. 29 wasn't his number, but to me, he'll always be associated with 29.
Was he on the team that made the finals, or
No, he's about 5 years after that.
Oh, after that.
Yeah, I didn't know him very well, but obviously a guy who could finish around the net, huh?
Yeah, 29 goals. I'm gonna have to get on Miss Douglas to get those record boards back up.
Yeah.
I could get some names off of that for this.
The record boards aren't up, Trenner?
No, they have new ones.
Oh,
the new ones, and they're bigger. And baseball and softball are combined, and I have a couple pictures of the several. And then the two basketball ones are combined. They're really big. So,
all right, I've got a nominee. I've got a nominee for number 30, and then I've got my winner. Here's my nominee from the 70s, Bob Wilson, all-state wide receiver. I love those Tiger uniforms. I think that was that picture maybe, from the fall of 73 there where they wore the silver helmets. But Bob Wilson isn't my pick. Who do you think my pick is for 30, Trent?
Oh, God, I'm embarrassed for not picking this. Kelly Wiesman.
Oh, Kelly Wiesman. No, I don't have Kelly Wiesman on here.
Oh, wow.
He definitely should be on this.
Who do you have?
Great fullback for the 1993 team. We definitely should have a picture of Kelly up. We'll get one of him next week. But here's my number 30. But she's wearing number 31 in the picture here.
Oh, Shauna Jones.
Shauna Jones, yep. And of course, the bottom picture is what we think of her, not usually wearing a number, but leading the pack by 30 yards and more in cross country. Never defeated in a cross country race. Multiple gold medalist at state track. One of the greatest girl athletes in Hastings High history. She wore number 30, and I tell you, she was a heck of a forward for the first ever girls team to play at state. Benny Congrove's 1985 group. She was a junior on that team, and she was an important part of that team.
Yeah, definitely. Just impressive. She won Class A cross country with all of those, and she never was beaten.
4 times, never lost a race.
Yeah, that is my favorite plaque to look at in the North Gym.
I'm not sure she ever saw the back of anybody's jersey
or the back of anybody's head.
Yeah,
ponytail.
Yeah.
So I would definitely. Would you put her on the girls' Mount Rushmore of Hastings High history?
Oh yeah, you got
definitely.
You got it. Yeah. Well, maybe Mount Rushmore's will be our theme next year, though. Next week, though, Tren, you ought to be able to get back in the game on numbers 31 through 35. Can't you get back in the game?
I'll try to come up. We're gonna get. Well, I'll do some work. I'll try to make a little better effort.
Okay. Well, until then, a lot of great Tiger games to get to. The next time you'll hear from me will be Friday night. Ryder will be home. We'll be calling the game on the Strive Network. Hastings High Tigers and the Ground Northwest Vikings. Big game for the Tigers. Keep that winning momentum going. Tren, as always, you get the last.
So here, I just still got my I'm going to start asking this question until it happens. Do we have the sideline reporter wireless mic yet?
No, but we do have my second straight prediction. I'm calling a second Tiger win.
You're calling a win streak.
I'm calling it. I'm calling the win streak. Tigers win again this week. Take out the Vikings.
I know
the world, Tren. Shock the world.
They are bringing the home unis out this week. I know the color combo.
Don't tell me. I like to.
I'm not going to. I'm just saying it's rivalry color week as far as I'm concerned. So, and I'll just say, go Tigers.
That's the last word. Go Tigers.